searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, because eyes so bright.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another week of Scheananigans. Today, I have Jax Taylor Ryan Bailey post-nasal surgery out of his recovery bed. A lot has gone down this week.
Yeah.
So let's get into it all.
Happy 2025 to you and your
Yes.
audience. I can't believe we've made it. I do sound like Jax Taylor in earlier seasons of Vanderpump Rules. It's a sinus surgery that I got. Everything is okay. It just sounds like I'm underwater.
So not a nose job.
No, I actually like my nose. I would get so many things done before my nose.
Yeah.
Like lipo. There's just so many things, but I like my nose.
I like your nose too. You got a good nose.
Can I put that on LinkedIn? Scheana likes my nose.
Yes. But how has the recovery been, the healing process, all of that?
It really sucked. Like they said it would be like 3 or 4 days of like pain, but I thought, oh, it won't be anything, but it really was bad. And I had light sensitivity issues, so I couldn't really look at my phone or TV, which is like my life. Oh yeah, that's like my lifeblood.
Yeah.
And then like about 4 days in, I was just like, maybe this was a mistake. It started getting better about a day and a half ago. I get my stents out tomorrow. There's like 2 tubes in my nose, but it's just been intense. So I don't know like if it worked, but I was getting sick every month last year. And they said I had a huge blockage. And it just sucked because I work so much on the podcast.
Right.
And it just like kind of affected things. So they roto-rootered my whole sinuses. So we'll see.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where there's never going to be a good time to have the surgery, you know?
Well, and then they were like, well, you'll be on pain medicine. And that sounded like fun. But it wasn't the kind of fun like pain medicine. It was like in pain where you need the pain medicine.
Right.
That sounds horrible. I want to take that back completely.
Meanwhile, I'm just trying to figure out when I could have 2 days of downtime to get my CO2 laser. So, there's that. I'm like, well, 2 days?
Well, you can do 2 days.
No, I know. But I'm like, okay, well, I've got this trip. Then I have this. Then I have to do a podcast.
God, the fact that you don't stop is so ridiculous. Like, I'll look at your Instagram and you just keep going.
I know. So, prime example, this past weekend, I had nothing on the calendar. Going into the new year, we're not filming. I don't have anything.
Not filming. What show were you a part of?
It was called Vanderpump Rules.
I've heard of it. I'm a huge fan. Yes.
Yeah. So essentially, we were all fired and replaced.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
I know.
Right.
It's okay.
Wait, the big announcement is that you're coming back for season 12?
Hey, we're waiting until a little later for that. Okay. But this past weekend, I had nothing on my calendar. So I'm like, must fill calendar. What should we do?
So you get like nervous when there's nothing on your calendar.
Yeah. I need to do something. I need to stay busy. And I've been wanting to get back down to San Diego to visit our old neighbors who are old in age, but also old we used to live by.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to be able to go and see them. And Brock needed to get some building stuff done with his friends he used to own F45 with. They're opening up a new gym. They asked if he could come down and do some Brock the Building series stuff, building benches and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? Perfect. I have nothing on the calendar. Let's go to San Diego. So we go, we have an amazing night Friday. We go to Barbusa, our favorite restaurant in Little Italy, stay up watching Wicked. I'm telling you, I have seen this movie every day for the past 5 days.
Where's Brock
I'm not
with
mad
Wicked?
at it.
Is Brock still loving Wicked? Okay.
Yes. He hasn't watched it all 5 times with us.
Sure.
But Summer was like, I wish we could just watch Wicked every day. And I'm like, well, look, until you go back to school, if Wicked's on, I love the music. I love everything about it. So I'm like, we could watch it every day for now. But
wow.
So we have an amazing time with our neighbors. And then the next morning we wake up. They're not a fan of using the heater. So the house was freezing. And so I'm just cuddling with Summer in bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so warm. We're just getting our cuddles in, watching some TV in bed. And then we go downstairs and she's cuddling up with Mike. He is 86 years old. He kind of looks like Santa Claus. He is the sweetest man I've ever met in my entire life. And she is just obsessed with him. So she's cuddling him on the couch. And I'm like, so adorable. I go and get an acupuncture appointment. I come back and they're like, Scheana, I don't think she's feeling well. And I just see it in her eyes. And I'm like, wait, this morning I just thought she was really cuddly and was just excited to like spend some time with him. Oh no, she's burning up when I thought we were just warm in bed.
Wait, did Summer get Mike sick?
No, thankfully. At least not yet. He's still okay. I checked on them yesterday. But I'm like, oh my God, she's got a fever. So I'm like, we got to get out of here because I can't chance her getting them sick. And she's already exposed them to whatever this is.
Yeah.
I don't want further exposure. So she's crying. She's so sad. She doesn't want to leave. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, but like, we got to go. So we pack up the car. We get on the road, leave Brock in San Diego.
You're literally defying gravity at this point.
Seriously. We leave Brock with all of his tools and equipment. I'm like, honey, we got to go figure out how to get home. So on our way home, we're on the 5. All of a sudden, I see this car in front of me kind of come into my lane. And I'm like, oh my God. I slam on my brakes. Boom. We crash into each other.
Was it Stassi?
No, it was Kristen.
Wait, you got into an accident?
Yes, we get into an accident on the way home. It was just one thing after another. She was asleep in the car. She didn't even wake up, thankfully. It wasn't that bad. It's just mostly some scratches. It was just a little bump. But there was that now I still have to deal with. So we got home. Yesterday, we woke up, we watched Wicked.
Back to Wicked. Good.
Did not leave the living room kitchen area until like 5 p.m. I didn't even get fresh air. Like we were just, she had a sick
day. So
day.
you guys, are you doing full sing-alongs when you watch?
We did yesterday. Yeah, we watched
the
sing-along version.
Have you incorporated dance moves into it?
Yeah, actually,
okay.
Yes, we have. So the part when Alphaba and Glinda, or Galinda at the time, when they have the moment with just the two of them and, you know, the dance moves, Summer loves to do that. So we follow their dance moves and do that part together. But every time a song comes on, she's like, Mommy, let's dance, let's dance. So it's been fun.
I love that you're creating storylines, even though you're not on reality TV at the moment. You're like, literally, I got to do an accident. There's like a sick old guy. There's 6, like you. It's a constant movement.
It was a lot. So what we thought was going to be just a relaxing weekend in San Diego, chill on the beach, see all of our old neighbors, and just
Is Brock
relax.
stranded in San Diego right now?
So he got a ride back with his friend yesterday because also I needed some help at home. We needed stuff from, like, I had Kevin, my bandmate and close friend, run to the grocery store for us yesterday.
You have one of the band members that wrote apples running errands for you?
It was for Summer, and it was just popsicles. Okay. She wanted popsicles. Okay. And I mean, they are so close. Like, she's obsessed with Kevin to the point where Brock, I felt like, got a little jealous yesterday. We were on FaceTime with Brock and she's like, Daddy, I want to call Kevin. We're calling Kevin. And he was like, oh, no. He's like, it's one thing if my wife is hanging out with this guy all the time and working on music and whatever. It's another when my daughter starts asking for him over me.
Here's another storyline right here. This is season 1 Vanderpump.
You know? So, yeah. So that was my weekend. But
wow.
Brock came back with a friend yesterday because that was his only ride back.
Yeah.
And now today he's going to get a rental and go back because all of his equipment's still there and he needs to finish the job.
When is Brock going to get like an HGTV show? Like, I'll watch his Instagrams and it's like, it's like I get fixated on them because I'm like, dude, this dude actually knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he walks you through it. Like, is he going to do an HGTV show or something like that? Building with Brock or something like that.
Brock the Builder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Brock the Builder. Can he fix it?
Is that your safe word?
No, that's from Bob the Builder.
I'm joking.
But anyways, other than all of that for me this weekend, I know the Golden Globes were last night, but Summer and I first were in a Wicked hole, and then she's actually really into football. So
shocking. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah. So we had Sunday day and night football. She watched the entire Chargers game with me. Then we had the Lions game last night. So I didn't get to see the Golden Globes. I read some transcripts. I looked at all the looks.
You haven't stressed the importance of the awards shows and award seasons to Summer Moon yet?
To be honest, football and who's going to make the wild card playoffs was more important than the Golden Globes in our household.
Kids, but you're a performer, Scheana. I would think that you would like show the importance of both.
I'm also a season ticket holder, and the Chargers Raiders were playing. It was Chargers Raiders.
Okay.
It was a division game. It was a very important game, and I'm teaching Summer football. She knows how many points a touchdown is and field goals, and I'm teaching her the game. So that was of importance yesterday. But I do want to get into the Golden Globes because I know you watched it. So we're going to take a quick little break and then we'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by Acorns, and I don't know if y'all know this. Obviously, every year, we all set all sorts of big goals at the beginning of the year, but only 8% of people will stick with their resolutions all year long. With Acorns, you can lock in years and years of healthy money habits in just 5 minutes. I mean, that's all the time it takes to open your account and start automatically saving and investing your money so it has a chance to grow. Acorns is easy to start automatically saving and investing so your money has a chance to grow for you, your kids, and your retirement. Personally, this is something that is so important for me now that I'm a parent. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. And also, you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with spare money you've got right now. You can start with $5 or even just spare change. One thing that I've been doing for many years now is investing my money, but even more so now since having a kid, it is so important. I want her to just be set up for the best future possible. Head to acorns.com/goodasgold or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risks. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/goodasgold. And speaking of New Year's resolutions, I've talked to y'all about Noom before. I'm here to talk to you about it again because most weight loss plans are one size fits all, not taking into account each person's individual needs. But with Noom, they build personal plans that can meet an individual's needs. They take into account dietary restrictions, medical issues, and other personal needs to build a plan that works for you. And Noom is built for your psychology and your biology, meeting you where you are. They understand that not everyone is starting from the same place and take that all into account. Noom's flexible program focuses on progress instead of perfection. Isn't that nice to not have to be perfect at something? You don't have to give up carbs or anything, really. If you have cravings, food FOMO, Noom can help you lose weight while still enjoying your favorite foods. I mean, this sounds pretty good to me. And active first-time Noom users lose an average of 15 pounds in 15 weeks, and 95% of customers say Noom is a good long-term solution. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. So stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. And this is based on a 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Okay, so Golden Globes. I did have to at least see Nikki Glazer's opening. Yeah. I thought she crushed it. So many funny jokes. And I feel like the Globes, it's definitely not an easy show to host.
No.
Yeah,
like last year, Joe Coy did it, the comedian, and he had a really rough go of it. So Nikki Glazer came in and you could tell she just loves pop culture, loves movie and TV. And we wanted to laugh with her, like everybody, the audience seemed a little tepid, but I think they're just nervous and they're stars.
Yeah. And they're like, what is she going to say? Because she's known for roasts. And she's like, I'm not here to roast you, but like a little bit, but not out for blood.
Well, she was on Stern today talking about like the jokes that didn't make it and the process with all the writing team.
Yeah.
And I just love all the thought that goes into it. And she could talk about how you could lose a room. You might win the audience at home, but you might lose the room.
Right.
So you got to be careful of that. But I was even thinking like, in all of your time in Los Angeles, did you ever go to the Golden Globes?
No, that's actually one I haven't been to. I actually haven't been to any of the really big ones, like the Grammys, the Oscars, the Globes. I've just been to the Creative Arts Emmys.
Yeah.
And like the music awards shows, People's Choice, Teen Choice, MTV, all of those ones.
Yeah.
But not the big ones.
I do think it's weird that the Golden Globes don't have a reality show a category because they have like box office achievement now, which is like Wicked won that. But I think it would be interesting to see what the foreign press thinks of American reality TV.
I feel like that could be something in the future.
Yeah.
Definitely. Never know. But it definitely takes a special talent to navigate hosting that type of show. I think, she did so great. She looked amazing. She had funny moments. But I loved how in her monologue where she's calling out like various projects nominated in the room, and she's like, the bear, the penguin, baby reindeer, all things you find in RFK's refrigerator.
Yeah. And she did like a couple words. It was like everything Ben Affleck yells out when he climaxes. So good.
No, so good. I also saw there was a clip from the night where she called out various things plugged in acceptance speeches thus far, like cast and crew 10 times, mom 4 times, Mario Lopez 1 time.
Goes, God, the creator of the universe, 0. Mario Lopez 1 time. Wait, can I read a couple that like didn't make the cut?
Yes. Oh my God,
this
please
is so.
do.
She was unstirred, and I like transcribed this because I loved it so much. It says, the Golden Globes, where people who won the genetic lottery get paid like they won the actual lottery, can win another thing. The Golden Globes is the only show where you can see the biggest stars in movies and television join together with the same goal: getting out of here tonight before Dax Shepard asked them to do his podcast. Let's see. By the way, they were talking about the movie Night Bitch. By the way, Night Bitch is what Diddy hears every evening before lights out. And there were so many of them, but it was great because she like walked through the process of like why this didn't work, why she went with this one instead of that one, and I loved like just the art of it. There's like an art form to it,
Absolutely. And how she said she wasn't going to touch on anything Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Yeah. She's like, no matter what, it's going to seem like I'm on the wrong side of history, which I'm not, but it's just better to not say anything.
Right. Well, you just were talking about that a couple episodes ago.
Right.
You're damned if you do, damned if you don't sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. And when I felt like, you know what, I do need to make a statement about James, because I feel like if I don't, everyone thinks I support it, but then I do, and I still upset some people. And I'm like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
It's also weird though, because also being a woman, for some reason, we still want to find ways to be angry at a woman.
Right.
Rather than the guy will still find ways of like, how can I be mad at Scheana in this? Or how can I be mad at this other woman instead of the person that actually it's all revolving around?
Yeah. No, seriously. Okay, so back to the Golden Globes, because one thing I also did watch was Demi Moore's acceptance speech. Fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I felt like, it just really resonated with me with just being on TV for so long, and how she said that she was told by a producer she was just, a popcorn actress, which I didn't even realize what that meant, but just like meaning that she could only be in like commercially successful ones.
Like 20 years ago, she was the highest paid actor, like actress. Like Striptease was like a box office, like payday high for women.
Yeah.
She did that, G.I. Jane, but she wasn't considered like a real actor.
Right. So just seeing all of that and her feeling like she was never going to be taken seriously for her art, that was like heartbreaking. It's something that I feel like many women have heard some variation of. But
isn't it interesting to think about Demi Moore, where you're like, she has it all. Oh my God, what a star. Like, what a legend. And then she has doubts about herself.
Right.
She's been told she's less than. And like that message of like, don't snuff your own light out. You are enough. I was talking about this with a friend last night, saying like, I loved her in The Substance. I thought that was a great, really weird, awesome movie, but I didn't think she was going to win. I thought Cynthia Erivo was going to win for Wicked, but now she's got a real shot at winning the Oscar. Not just because her performance was great, but because she's telling a story.
Yes.
Like that inspires people. We want to be inspired by Hollywood and television actors and what we see. And that's inspiring, that message.
Absolutely. It's like if she wasn't a favorite to sweep award season, I think after that speech, I would bet on her for sure.
It's a real race though.
Yeah, no, definitely. She also was by far one of my favorite looks of the night, and I'm going to get into some more looks, but
thanks. Thanks for having me on to talk about fashion.
Yeah, my fashion correspondent.
Great choice.
Ryan Bailey here. But yeah, her message was just so powerful. And I honestly could not believe that she's never won an award.
Dude, that was shocking.
Anything?
Like I was like, wait, is that true? I went back and checked because I was like, there's no way that's true. It was true.
Yeah. That's so wild. And on top of it, to hear that she felt like just a couple years ago, she thought her career was over and she was at her lowest point.
That's why you could never, like, even take away Hollywood.
Yeah.
You could never give up on yourself. Like we all have those like dark days, those dark moments, no matter what industry you're in. Just wait until tomorrow. Like just put one foot in front of the other. That was so inspiring to hear.
No, everything she said. And it just goes to show, you can't put people in a box. And
well, we want to put ourselves in a box too.
Yeah.
It's easy easier to think negative things about yourself and to hear it. Like you get so used to negativity that you just start to accept it.
Yeah. I feel like after being on reality TV for 12 years now, which I mean, I'm grateful for everything that has come with it, but her speech really did resonate with me. You know, I was an actress before I was a reality star, and her speech just saying, you know, I am enough, and everything she said, it was an important reminder for me of that.
Well, you know, just I hate to keep bringing up Vanderpump Rules, but that's how it all started. You guys were like actors, performers, trying to make it. I was an actor trying to make it. I worked at like an acting studio for 12 years where I saw the cast of Vanderpump Rules coming in to take classes. Like it's such a hard industry. And like, I always joke that like, if you're an actor in LA, you'll hear more inspirational phrases by the time you're 27 years old than most people will hear your whole life.
Yeah.
Because you have to have something to keep you going, because it is such a lottery. It is so, and every year that passes, that window closes. You just feel it like a noose around your neck. It's really, really scary. So you need to hear things like that. You need to hear to not give up. And like people would be shocked that even you doubt yourself. You're like, wait, you've been on TV since 2013. Like people don't realize that you actually have real feelings, real doubts.
No,
you know?
literally. And because of being on reality TV for so long, I feel like it's taken so much of my confidence and all of that from me, where I started this show as a confident 26-year-old, you know, trying to be an actress and make it in entertainment. And now I'm like, am I good at anything?
Wait, it hasn't added more confidence at all?
No.
See, I feel like it's like made you more like your resolve is stronger. You're
quite the opposite.
Because it seems like even we've talked in the past, you're able to deal, like there's always like drama going on behind the scenes. You're able to like roll with it, where like that would, like I've had a couple things happen in the last couple of years. Like it's literally like driven me off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how. Like,
I feel that way too.
You know?
Yeah. So wait, when you worked at the acting studio, did you hear any feedback about us Vanderpump Rules people as actors?
I don't know if we talked. Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to. So you came in, and I remember this was, I think, pre-Vanderpump.
Yeah.
You at that time had done something with the Jonas Brothers.
I did. Yeah. That was like 2008 or 9.
There was like detailed notes on everybody. And so I would geek out. I would just look at the system at everybody's notes. Like Paris Hilton took classes there. Every cool person was going through there. They still do. But yours was like, you knew what you were doing. You were like, you had booked a couple commercials. You knew it. Unfortunately, the men of Vanderpump, they were like really good looking.
Tom and Tom.
And there was one that was like, thinks he's funny, not as funny as he thinks he is.
Aww.
Ariana got great. Got great notes. Dodie, I don't remember, but it was like, I remember you and Ariana got the highest notes, if I'm allowed to say that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally allowed to say that here on Scheananigans. Okay, again, back to the Golden Globes. Did you see the ring on Zendaya's finger?
Well, did you check your phone in the last hour?
No, I have not.
They announced that they are engaged.
Okay, so they did. Oh, yay.
Tom Holland popped the question over the holidays.
I love
asked
that.
her dad's permission a couple months ago, so they are engaged.
Oh my God.
And it was awesome that he wasn't there last night, because you can just picture he's out there making a fire in some cozy sweater, you know, waiting for his lady to come back. Like, he just seems like a dude that loves to act and doesn't love to get caught up in like the Hollywood BS.
Yeah.
And she's so insanely talented. So it seems like a perfect.
Insane.
I love that I don't know a lot about them as a couple.
Yeah, I don't really either. I love them together, and I thought she looked incredible as well. Also, Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet hard launched their relationship last year at the Golden Globes, but she was there again this year to support him. Although she skipped the carpet like last year.
Did she skip the carpet, or how does that conversation work?
Right.
Like, when you were first dating Brock and you would go to events, was there a conversation of, I'd rather just walk this alone? Like, I know that's a smaller scale, but like, was there ever that conversation of, I want it to just be me?
Usually, and what we still do to this day is I do solo first, and then he comes on for a couple photos, and then I continue on. And if they want solos of him, then he stays and does solos. But I always will do solos first, no matter what. So
solos are just when they get a shot just of you posing. Yeah. So my thing is like, is there a conversation had? Is there a negotiation? Is Kris Jenner involved? Like, I want her on that red carpet, damn it. Like, is the goal to get on that Oscars red carpet? And personally, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
I was hoping Timothée Chalamet was going to win last night just because I wanted to see them kiss. I wanted to see if he thanked Kylie.
Right.
Because it's been a couple years now.
Yeah.
And I also want to know if Kylie's even like what she thinks of Bob Dylan. Like, does she have to listen to Bob Dylan's music? Like, Scheana, have you seen the Bob Dylan movie yet?
I haven't seen anything that Timothy Chalamet has been in. If
You
I'm
told
being
me this
honest,
before. Are you?
I know him as Kylie Jenner's
You haven't
boyfriend.
seen Wonka at least?
No.
What? Are you against? Is this a feud
No,
with you and Timothy Chalamet?
It's not. I just haven't seen any of those films. I
He's an
want to see
amazing
Dune.
actor.
I know
Dune's really great.
Brock has seen it, and he was so excited when Dune 2 came out. I was like, yo, I got to watch 1 first.
See, if Summer Moon's going to watch Wicked, you got to also let her watch the Bob Dylan movie to like balance it out.
Right, totally.
No,
Yeah,
but I do want to see like, it is funny to think about Kylie because all we know of her is dating like rappers like Tyga, Travis
Yes.
Scott. And then all of a sudden, Timothy Chalamet is, I don't know if it's a complete 180, but it's very different. And just in the music stylings, they see Timothy Chalamet listen to nothing but Bob Dylan for like 5 years straight.
Oh, wow.
So did Kylie Jenner just have to sit and listen to folk music for like, I want to know her thoughts. Like, I want to know. I don't know. The whole time on the Golden Globes, I just kept looking for like Kylie Jenner in the audience because I was just fascinated with it.
She looked incredible.
Yeah.
I will say, though, it was kind of awkward. I saw Perez Hilton posted when Demi Moore had kind of snubbed her. She's like talking to Elle Fanning, and then Kylie's like, congratulations. And you see, she kind of looks at her. So maybe she said like, thanks or whatever. But then she goes around her, says hi to Timothy, and then walks off.
Well, I always wonder, does Kylie Jenner get insecure? Like, she's a billionaire. She has nothing to be insecure about, but does she get insecure in rooms like that? Does she get shy? And like, does Timothy go out of his way to go, hey, this is my girlfriend, Kylie? You know, like, how does that all work? But I saw that moment and it looked weird, but maybe Demi was nervous to say hi to Kylie. Who knows?
I don't know, but I feel like Kylie, just from what I've seen watching, every episodes of Kardashians ever, I feel like she does have a lot of insecurities. And you could be a billionaire and the youngest, richest person in the world, but I feel like as many fans as she has, she still maybe feels like she's not enough. Or when people are like, they're not talented, they're not, it's like, she is businessly talented. And also, she can sing, she just doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
She's good.
What was that? Rise and Shine? Rise?
Yes. Yes.
Stormy.
And even when they were all doing the Christmas album, and she's like, look, out of everyone, like, I can sing. I just choose not to. Because maybe she doesn't have the confidence.
What's so interesting, though, and I know you don't know a lot about Bob Dylan, but like he came up in a time in the 60s where he didn't like, obviously social media wasn't around. He didn't have to promote himself. He wasn't trying to make it.
Yeah.
Like this happened to him. And we live in a society now that is based around social media that Kylie Jenner has benefited from. So it's so interesting for Timothy Chalamet to play somebody like this, but also to be potentially in love with somebody that is so different than what Bob Dylan represents.
Yeah.
And I always wonder like how Timothy talks to himself about that. Like, how does he make sense of that relationship? Like, I want to know what makes them work together.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll find out. Have you ever seen Bob Dylan in concert?
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep?
Dude, I had a big Dylan, like I'm a nerd. I had a big Dylan period in my 20s because that's what you do as a lonely, weird kid. And so I loved him. So I went to the Hollywood Bowl. This a-hole said that you couldn't film him. So I had like nosebleed seats in the back of the Hollywood Bowl. I think I saw Bob Dylan. All I heard was like,
yeah.
Like all of a sudden, I think I heard Blowing in the Wind. Like he like changed up all of the structures to the song, but I saw him, I guess. It was such a bummer.
Yeah. I saw him at Old Chella Desert Trip back in the day.
Oh, with like the Stones and all that stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. It was, they had 2 bands each night for 3 nights. And
wait, were you there with Tom and Ariana?
I was. All of us were there together.
Jeez.
That was my last weekend of my marriage, honestly. That was one of the weekends that was really a big turning point.
Bob Dylan broke you guys up?
He did.
Wait, why was that the last weekend?
It was 2 weeks before we actually separated.
Were you guys fighting the whole weekend of that trip?
It had to do with his sobriety that weekend and some things that I noticed and my mom noticed that were really off. And yeah, it was the desert trip was like a really big turning point in our marriage. And it was kind of the beginning of the end.
Wow. Well, what does Scheana Shay think of when she hears Bob Dylan? Were you like, who is this guy?
No, I know who Bob Dylan is.
Yeah.
I knew who everyone at Desert Trip was.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to classic rock and all of that music. So anything, I mean, even back to like Elvis. I mean, I loved old music growing up. I wasn't really a kid who, I mean, I watched like Kids Incorporated and Mickey Mouse Club and all of that, but I felt like I had a very rounded out musical upbringing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do that with Summer, but she's really stuck on the Moana.
We
and
got to get her
everything.
off the Wicked, man. We got to, yeah. Get her into Elvis. Like, I just like listened to all of Elvis's albums this past year. Like, what a talent that dude is.
Oh my God. So get this. So I was at Lance Bass's when we were in Palm Springs last week.
Yeah, that's what you do on New Year's. You go to Lance Bass's. That's totally normal.
But the day before, we had the kids just doing a play date together. And he was like, oh, Violet, I forgot to give you one of your Christmas presents. And it was a vintage Frank Sinatra album. And she's like, oh, Frank Sinatra, my favorite. And I'm like, come on, this kid knows Frank Sinatra. That's incredible. He's like, probably doesn't know who NSYNC is, but
I'm going to get Summer Moon a Bob Dylan album. That's it. We got to compete with Lance Bass's kid right now.
It was so cute to see how excited she was to get a Frank Sinatra album.
That's got to be the coolest thing
wow.
about having a kid, though, is like seeing what they take to and what thing that you love, they end up loving. Or like the things that they don't like that you love. You're like, what's that about?
Yeah. Look, Summer Moon is a Scheana Marie music fan, and that's all that matters.
Yeah,
to me.
what if she hated Good as Gold? Like, would that be like game over? Would it be like, wait, you got to go to your room right now?
Yeah, the other night when we got back from San Diego, because we weren't supposed to be there, Kevin was in the studio working. We let the boys come over to just use the studio whenever. And so when we came in, he was like, oh, Summer, he's like, I was just finishing working on one of your mom's new songs. Do you want to hear it? And he played a new song that's going to be on my EP called Dead to Me. And she loved it. And I was like, that's all that matters. My daughter likes
Summer
it.
Moon in the stew. I love it. Wait, who's Dead to Me about?
Well, you'll find out when the EP comes out.
You always tease these things.
Okay, back to the Golden Globes.
Sorry, guys.
Last thing, I want to talk about some of the looks because I want to get your take as a man.
Yeah, as a man.
So I loved Demi. I already said that.
Yeah.
The Fannings. Oh my God. Dakota with the red sheer, Tony Ward dress. Elle had this like champagne dress from Balmain with the leopard, like little bustier thing. And they took their grandma with them, which I loved. I saw Dakota posted today and was like, this is all I needed.
That take their family to award shows.
So cool. And for them to both go to the show together as nominees and like, how cool, you have your sister there.
That was always like when I first moved to Los Angeles, my grandma Davis, rest in peace, she worked at this clothing store called Schottenstein's in Columbus, Ohio. And she heard it was award season. And I wasn't working. But she sent me a tuxedo, a really bad, like cheap tuxedo.
Yeah.
But it was like with this sweet note of like, I heard it was an award season in case you need it this year.
Aww.
And so I still have that tuxedo. If I ever get nominated for anything, I won't fit into it or anything like that. But it was just that thing of like, and I was like, oh God, I hope I get nominated for something when my grandma's still here so I can take her and wear this tuxedo.
Right.
It's all about those stories,
Absolutely.
our families. Yeah.
No, so I loved seeing that. That was great. Pam Anderson, what do we think of the natural look?
She's gorgeous.
Stunning.
She's so committed to it that you can't argue against it, but I love her both ways.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? As a woman, is it making the statement that you think she
I think
is trying
it
to
is.
make?
I think that it takes an insane amount of confidence to do a red carpet and press and all of that with no makeup, especially at her age. I don't know that I would ever have that level of confidence. So I was like, you know what? Good for you. You are stunning. But I don't know that I could do it.
Her Netflix documentary was so good that came out a couple years ago. And I love that we are now like kind of learning this other side of Pam Anderson that's always been there. But she was considered such a sex symbol like for so long and still is. But it is so interesting to hear like what that does to somebody where she is kind of like, F it. Like I've had people sexualize me my entire career. I could literally give two rips about how you think I look right now.
Yeah. I loved how Miley Cyrus looked.
Oh, I did. I thought she looked gorgeous.
That was one of my faves for sure. Like, if I was going to pick a look to wear myself, I felt like that would definitely be one. But I loved how all of her tattoos were showing because, as we know, I have several tattoos. But I was like, wait, I don't know that I've ever really noticed Miley has a tramp stamp. And I feel like whenever I wear something that's backless, I always want to cover the tramp stamp because I'm like, oh no, it's tacky. And then I saw how good Miley looked and I'm like, I might bust out the tramp stamp again.
Let's not go too crazy, Scheana. You're talking crazy now. Let's not, just because Miley did it one time. But
I mean, the bangs, the glasses,
No, it all
everything about it. I love that she hasn't, just like joined the Hollywood fake boob crew. It's like she's just like natural and her and insane. Just love her. Kate Hudson, I felt like just classically beautiful. It wasn't too much. It was just like, that's kind of a look you expect to see at award shows. Just kind of like the ball gowny type of look. Loved it. Melissa McCarthy, because I didn't watch the full show. I'm curious. Was she able to sit? Like, is there any footage of her actually sitting?
Sorry,
Not to kill you.
Well, I think there was footage of her sitting. I thought they did this thing with the presenters where the camera was so close on them that it was like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I did
she's just
see her
sitting on her dress, not even a chair.
It's got to be so awkward for them the whole night.
Right. But it's like when you do a look, I mean, most of the time Kim Kardashian's looks, she cannot sit. She can't pee. She's just there, standing in it,
You suffer for your art.
Selena Gomez, I thought also was stunning. She can do no wrong in my eyes. Any that I didn't like? I mean, yes, but I like to always just, be positive and say nice things. So, okay, I'll say this. Kate Blanchett. Yeah. It was an interesting choice to rewear. I heard that she rewore a dress that she had worn last year in 2024. And I'm like, I do wish sometimes that more would embrace this. Sometimes I fall in love with the dress, but then I'm told, I can't wear it again. And I have a whole closet in Palm Springs of looks I've worn on the red carpet that I'm like, well, I can never wear this again. So I'll just hang it up here and maybe wear it to a holiday party or something. So I thought that was cool that she rewore it. I just thought it was an interesting choice to rewear because it was a really out there dress. It wasn't like a black gown that you're like, has she worn that before? It was like, oh, that's
but she's been to so many award shows. It just must get exhausting to like keep doing the I don't know. I can totally see why she would do it of all people. Yeah. What did you think about the men? I noticed all the men have brooches now.
Yeah, I saw that too. From what I saw, I mean, all the guys just looked, classically good. I didn't think there was anything too crazy. Some hats and whatnot.
There's not a lot you could do, but like the brooches are like, we're really going brooch forward in 2025.
I guess it's the year of the brooch. Also, Kristen Bell's dress reminded me of a cut that I recently wore for a photo shoot that I'll show you a photo of later. So
wait, so you're saying Kristen Bell copied your look?
No, because she hasn't seen this photo of me yet. So, and I did not copy Kristen Bell because I shot this in July or August.
See, it's so interesting. Like when I look at things, I never be like, oh, I wore that. Or like, it's like, oh, that guy's wearing the same Old Navy shirt that I have. Like, but it's like interesting. Like in television, you're probably always have an eye out for like, oh, I was going to get that, but they're wearing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, even last season of Vanderpump and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle and Katie have the same interview look. Yeah. And I'm like, how did Bravo approve that? You're like on two similar shows.
Does Bravo have to approve everybody has to sign off on all your talking head looks?
Yeah. We have a full day where we come in with say maybe 8 looks and then they narrow it down to the top 4.
Like, that's the worst part is like those, you probably love it, but I used to hate that stuff on commercials, like trying on pants and all that stuff. Oh, I hated it.
I absolutely hate it. I do not like shopping in person. I do not like going in dressing rooms and trying stuff on. I hate it.
Did you get a costume budget?
No.
For like the talking heads at least?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If there was a category added to the Golden Globes, the Angie K Award for Best High Body Count Hair.
Shout out Angie K!
Who do you think would be nominated?
Who was the one? I'm blanking on the name, but there was one specific one. Who is it?
So, well, Kathy Bates did the clip-in ponytail. Nicole Kidman had like a clip-in ponytail as well. And then, I mean, Miley had the hair back, which I loved. Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge had high hair. Yeah. God, I love that high body count hair is in our lexicon again. God, I love Salt Lake City. So it's back on this week. I'm so excited.
I know. I'm like, the Housewives have been off for a minute. I went to watch
2 weeks. Thank
Beverly Hills, and I'm like, oh, I'm still caught up. What the fuck?
Oh, I loved it. I loved a 2-week break.
No,
like Salt Lake. I got to meet at that Kathy Hilton holiday party. Yeah. And like I got to geek out on them so hard. Like Angie K was so cool. Mary Cosby. Like I had a normal conversation with Mary Cosby of all people. It was so cool.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with this season. And then there's also, low body count hair. Ariana Grande, Simple, Emma Stone.
Wait, where was Ethan Slater? Why wasn't Ethan Slater with Ariana Grande at the table?
Oh, I don't know.
It was just something I thought, like, are they not supposed to like be at events together because their relationship started in a weird way?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. That whole thing, I was doing a deep dive on that because I was telling my old neighbors when we were watching, I was like, okay, so.
Wait, your 86-year-old old neighbor, you're telling them about Ethan Slater?
I was giving them the tea. I was like, okay, so Galinda and Bach.
Wait, does Summer Moon know about Ethan Slater and the relationship?
She wasn't really paying attention when I was telling them the story, but I had to give them the tea because Mike's wife, Cheryl, she's not 86. She's in her 60s, but she loves all of the tea. So I was telling her that, and she's got her iPad up on Instagram. She's looking up all of their stuff, and it was fun.
Emma Stone had a pixie cut that she debuted.
Yeah, what did
night.
you think of that?
I'm not a huge fan of the pixie cut,
I'm
but
not
like
either.
she's gorgeous regardless.
Totally.
It's just I've never been a fan of pixie cuts.
I haven't been either, but it does take a certain look to be able to pull it off, and I feel like Emma Stone has that classically beautiful look that she could have a shaved head and look fine.
And she probably will have a shaved head at some point in her career. Like, but yeah, she can pull it off. It's just not something that I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah. So I was like, not my favorite, but she's one of the people who can pull it off.
What's the worst hair you've had at an award show? Like the one you hated the most?
Probably hair that I did myself. I remember one time that I thought I was doing a cute look by just doing an up messy pony, because I was like, oh, it's just going to kind of be like a bedhead look. And when I got the photos back and my publicist saw the photos, he was just like, why didn't you get your hair done? I was like, it was a choice, and I thought it was a good choice. Didn't come out the way I thought. It was just, when I had great glam, I was like, and then we just do the messy, sexy bed. No. So I also, though, want to give an honorable mention to Jeremy Strong in the bucket hat.
See, that's how I would dress if I had money. So it's like so good that I don't have money, because I would be wearing shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
And you can just tell he loves, Robert Downey Jr. dresses that way a lot too, where it's like kind of like out there.
Yeah.
But you can tell he loves it.
Yeah, I love it. I also liked Leighton Meester's Versace look.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there supporting her husband, Adam
Did you
Brody.
watch Nobody Wants This on Netflix? So good.
I heard they mentioned Vanderpump Rules in that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no, it
because
is.
the Foster sisters love Vanderpump Rules.
No, it is top of my list of a new thing to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it because, I've been watching Wicked every day.
You got to have them on Scheananigans. They were like, they were on So Bad It's Good.
Oh, okay.
We talked about Vanderpump, like, you should watch the show. It's excellent.
Yeah, no, that's definitely top of my list. I need to watch it, but I always love to see a good Blair fashion moment, And okay, wait, but speaking of Blair, did you see that rumor that Serena, Blake Lively, and her team were pushing to get her a key presenting spot to try and revamp her image, but the Globes apparently passed?
There's no way that's true.
I mean,
there's no way that's true. I don't think there's I think she would stay as far away from that, because Ryan Reynolds, they were supposed to both be there, because Ryan Reynolds was nominated for Deadpool and Wolverine, Wicked 1, and they both backed out of even going.
Yeah.
So I don't know, with all the lawsuits going back and forth, I would love to know if that's true or not. Because
I don't know. There's a lot of that's gonna obviously play out.
That's gonna be all of 2025.
Oh, totally. And then did you see Brady Corbett, who is the winner of Best Director for The Brutalist, which also won for Best Motion Picture Drama? The comment during his speech about, he said, final cut, tie break goes to the director. Sort of a controversial statement, though it should be. Which, I mean, there was applause from the audience, but...
So people were like almost taking that to mean that was a Justin Baldoni reference in regards to the Blake Lively cut and the Baldoni cut. I heard that wasn't in reference to that at all. He made a 3.5-hour film that like has an intermission during it.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that was like completely self-serving and nothing to do with Justin Baldoni at all.
Interesting.
But I think people were perceiving it that way. We'll find out more this week, but I heard that it wasn't actually, that was just him being an artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then speaking of presenters, Aubrey Plaza was slated to present at the awards, and her husband, Jeff, passed away Friday morning. I mean, I cannot even imagine what she's going through. I hope along with the rest of her family and friend network, that she's just feeling supported during this time. I saw that a couple days ago and just, but if you know someone who needs help, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. That is no joke. That is something that needs to be taken very seriously. Anytime anyone says anything about that, I'm just like, I always will take those things very seriously.
Oh God. Yeah, me too. Like I think we've all had moments in our own lives where it's just, things get so dark. But also, this is what I hate about, as much as I love celebrity news and Daily Mail and TMZ, now it's like they're picking over the bones of look at this interview where Aubrey Plaza said this about her relationship 5 years ago. It's guys, leave it alone, give it a rest. Like, they just are out there looking for clicks. And that, sometimes it's just like, let it be.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I do want to get into some Bravo stuff with you. We're going to take one more quick little break and then we'll be right back. So have you ever gone on a ski or snowboarding trip and just not wanted to have to bring your own equipment with you, just realizing how much it is to lug it, check it, worrying about it getting banged up on the airplane when they're tossing your luggage? Because I personally have. And that's why I'm here to tell you about Ship Skis, which makes this problem completely go away and makes it so much easier. You skip airport stress and costly airline fees with complimentary insurance, real-time tracking, dedicated support, and on-time delivery. So here's how it works. You just schedule your shipment, attach your label, and Ship Skis handles the rest, delivering your gear directly to your destination. Ship Skis offers white glove shipping for ski and snowboard gear. Travel worldwide without luggage. It just is that easy. Ship Skis delivers to 180 countries for a hassle-free, gear-free journey. Ship Skis is trusted by thousands of skiers and travelers and rated 4.85 on Trustpilot and featured in Forbes Travel and Leisure, Free Skier, and Incorporated. Right now, Ship Skis is offering our listeners 20% off your first shipment when you go to shipskis.com and use code GOODASGOLD. Go to shipskis.com and use the code GOODASGOLD to get 20% off your first shipment and save yourself the hassle this ski season. That's shipskis.com. Make sure you use the code GOODASGOLD so they know we sent you. All right, so to switch gears a bit, I couldn't have Ryan Bailey on and not get his take on some things happening in the Bravo bubble. So we're going to do things a bit out of order this week by moving the Jack's Hole of the Week up. Did you know this is a new segment on Scheananigans?
I do know this is a new segment. Jax has won it a couple times now.
He has, yeah. He won it, but obviously inspired by the Jack Hole, but I was like, we're going to call it the Jack's Hole because I'm not going to completely copy. But this week's moment.
Has Jax reached out to you about the Jack's Hole segment at all?
No, not about that.
Are you so not about that? What has he reached out to you about? Come on.
Before talking about him on the podcast, I think now he's just accepted that I'm going to continue to speak about him if it gives me something to speak about. Simple as that. Don't do dumb shit if you don't want people to talk about it. But he's been, at least from what I've heard, a little more quiet recently.
Yeah, on Instagram yesterday, or on his little message, it said 2025 starts now. So, yeah.
On January 5th?
I don't know. We all started later.
Okay, but this week's Jack's Hole is going to go to my girl Jennifer Aiden for her New Year's Day I'm a Celebrity tirade at the airport Jersey Mike's. So can you walk us through what happened here? I've seen all of the TikToks and stuff. I'm like, she wanted to order another sandwich.
Okay, so it's like 6 a.m. at an airport. They're traveling somewhere. They go to Jersey Mike's. Her husband, Bill, he went to Shake Shack or whatever.
Okay.
So she's ordering. She keeps switching her order. They can't make up their mind. This 65-year-old woman is working the deli, slicer or whatever. And she just starts filming them and being taunting and saying they're so slow and dumb and stupid and all of these things. And it's this old lady working at a Jersey Mike's at the airport, New Year's Day of all things. Get this. She's ordering a tuna sandwich to take on a flight at 6 a.m. That's criminal in itself. Who orders a tuna flipping sandwich to take on a flight?
No,
and
literally.
Then she's like, why post that and think people are going to be with you? Who's going to be and so then the Jersey Mike employees, they risk their jobs. And they're like, I don't care who this lady thinks she is. I don't know who she is. Says she's drops the celebrity card at a Jersey Mike's of all places.
I know.
We are all equal at Jersey Mike's.
And it's like, regardless of what happened, she has no right to dox those workers. And when she's like, you're supposed to be smiling, right? You smile at Jersey Mike's. And just all of that, I was like, you have a platform with hundreds of thousands of followers and you should use it more responsibly.
And especially when your show's on the bubble, it might not get picked. It's
absolutely.
like out the door.
It's officially
because of this
paused.
kind of shit. Like this is exactly why it's not going to come back, because of this kind of shenanigans.
Yeah.
Shout out Scheananigans.
Hey, pun intended. But I love Jen. I've always loved her. But when I saw that, I'm just like, you're going to be my
Dude,
Jack
you know
soul.
who does? Your buddy Mercedes. She doesn't like Jen. Her and we've had a
really.
Yeah, you got to ask Mercedes about Jen. Like she cracked. But yeah, I just thought I thought it was uncalled for. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was hurtful.
Yeah.
Like there was everything wrong with it, and I hope she issues an apology at some point. Did you see she got removed from that Housewives cruise? She already lost a job.
Oh yeah,
with Teresa and Dolores. They have to find another housewife now.
That
she
won't
lost
be hard.
that gig.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also,
Wait, have you ever? You've never you've never lost it on a service employee where you've like been filmed or like right?
No,
You would never.
Never.
Because you know that that's ridiculous.
Right. No, the fact that a few weeks back someone said that I don't tip. I was like, oh, hell no. I tip at the open bar. I tip at the paid bar. I will tip 20% for bad service. I usually always tip over 20%. So I'm like, to say that I don't tip,
even if you
how dare
wanted
you?
to not tip, you have to tip because you're Scheana.
Yes. But I would never not tip, because the way I see it is, what if this person just had someone pass away? What if their girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever just broke up with them? What if they're just having a shitty day and they're trying to do their best? Like,
but you also worked in the service industry.
Yes.
You depended on tips.
Yes.
That's what Nikki Glaser said last night at the Golden Globes, one of her best jokes of like, you have some of the hardest working, talented actors in the world in this room tonight. They are your servers.
I loved that because I was like, yeah, that's true. But okay, in the Bravo bubble, we had a huge breakup, and that is my friends Paige and Craig. She announced on Giggly Squad that they have parted ways, mentioned there's no drama, things just didn't work out. However, fans are now, chomping at the bit to turn this into a scandal, saying that she cheated, and that's obviously something that she has refuted. But I want to get your take on this. And I feel like sometimes, two people can maturely part ways because the relationship has run its course. Yeah. And that's how it should be. It
happens.
It happens. Yeah. It's not always because something scandalous happened. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Well, I think because of Scandal, we as a Bravo audience are so primed for there to be a dark reason.
And I mean, obviously they tried for over 3 years, and it didn't work. But do you think Scandal has ruined us? Do you think fans now expect that level of drama when it comes to a relationship in the Bravoverse ending?
I think we do think of things in reality show storylines.
Yeah.
So I think we gravitate towards, well, there's got to be a reason. We always leave out the fact that each and every one of us, anybody out there listening or watching, we've all broken up with somebody or been broken up with.
Yeah.
So we always act like this has never happened before. This is crazy. No, it happens to everybody. It's just sad though, because I think we all kind of genuinely like Craig and Paige.
Yeah.
We saw Craig grow. We've seen Paige grow into like the business person, like she's all like, it was just a bummer because you're like, oh, it would be cool if this was like in game. But I totally understand. I just feel bad kind of for both of them. But it doesn't have to be a cheating scandal all the time.
No, agreed.
It can be drugs.
Yeah. Or just,
Wait, but have you reached out to any of...
I talked to Paige the day that I saw it happen. She responded almost immediately and just thanked me for reaching out. Because, I've known Craig since his first season, and I've known Paige since her first season. Like, these are people I've grown friendships with over the years. I actually haven't reached out to Craig yet. Now that you say that, I need to.
Be a good time to let's do it right now while we're on the pod.
Should I?
Yeah.
Just call him. I'm like, hey, I didn't
bud.
actually.
Yeah. Hey, we're sitting in front of some Spritz Society. Wanted to give you a shout out.
No, but it just, sometimes it doesn't work. I think that the distance between them, it worked as long as it could. If he's not moving to New York, she's not moving to Charleston. They're
did both
it
extremely successful.
totally.
There's like an age difference, obviously, and we've seen it play out on television. I'm just curious because Summer House premieres February 14th, or right in that, like, so I'm curious about how press is going to handle, because there's a storyline involving Craig and Paige there. Southern Charm is airing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it'll make that reunion interesting. I think you just kind of look at it where it seemed like Craig really wanted this. Not that Paige didn't. So I don't know. I don't know why we always feel bad for the guy, but I think it's because we realize like Paige is like a force of nature. She's killing it on all fronts.
She really is.
And not to take away from her pain at all, but it just makes me sad.
You sound like a male sympathizer.
I'm horrible, truly. Like, it's one of those things where, well, no, you know what it is, because I know how like we're all like, dudes are pussies. Like, we will sit there and not be able to think logically about something, and we'll be all Drake and emo in our feelings of like, oh, nobody's ever felt this. Like, you can just see him like, yeah, I should do ayahuasca with Shep. I need to like connect with something. And whereas like women will actually go, I'm completely sad and broken, but I will put one foot in front of the other and make a plan.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so from Summer House back here to LA, in Beverly Hills, I saw a TikTok. Kyle Richards' daughters, Alexia and Sophia, posted a video after the holidays showing the matching coats that Kyle got them, saying that she always gets them the same thing every year. And I'm like, look, Kyle has great taste, so I would happily take anything she's gifting. But would you want the same exact gift as your sibling?
I mean, if it's like that, like, you know, that's got to be like an expensive coat. So
right.
At that level, yeah. But if we're talking like a smaller level, like, do I want like an Amazon gift card that my sister got? No. But if it's like Kyle Richards, like my dream is to get a Kimosabi hat from Kyle Richards engraved. Like, of course I'm going to, like, she has great taste. I would not give a rip about that.
And I feel like if her daughters have the same taste and she knows her daughters, like.
Dude, she's probably bought those daughters cars. Like, they're fine. Like, they can get the same coat.
And with having a sister, I felt like I related to this because so here's the thing. I either want two of the same thing or it has to be something that maybe she gets it in black, I get it in white, and we can share because we are the same size in clothing and shoes. So I'm like, I'm totally with getting the same thing. Because, you know, it's like if you're going to want to borrow it anyways.
Wait, have you and your sister gotten into fights about gifts before?
Not fights, no. But I think my mom knows us well enough to know if she should get us the same thing. We don't live together. You know, we both travel often. So if it's a coat like that, I would want the same coat.
Dude. Wait, what did your mom get you for Christmas this year?
She didn't get us anything the same.
Yeah.
No.
I was watching that episode where you guys got the matching tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Has your sister got a matching tattoo with your mom?
We do. We have matching finger tattoos.
Perfect.
Yeah. And then I think some others. But I'm trying to think. I still have all my Christmas presents in my garage that I've not put away yet. But everything my mom and dad get us, it's so thoughtful. It's things that I don't even necessarily ask for, but they just know I would use. And I don't think there were any of the same this year. I can't think. But thank you, Ryan, for being here. And for more of Ryan's hot takes, you can catch new weekday drops of his podcast, So Bad It's Good.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Searching for this all my